Good morning. This is our first day of class, so what we're going to do is start talking about coding. In this class, we will do a variety of coding projects, and you will need to go to Google. And if you take a look at what you see on the screen right now, you'll see I went to MIT Scratch. And when you do, you'll notice that Scratch is your very first option. If you click on Scratch, you will come to a site that looks like this. This is Blockly coding, which is a coding language that is a little simpler to understand. But everything you do right now on your phone is driven by an app. An app has a coding, and a coding is your set of instructions. So what we're going to do is we're going to get your account set up. With this, when you get to this point, what you want to do is come up in the upper right hand area. You'll see there's Join Scratch and Sign In. I would like for you to click on Join Scratch. And when you do, I would like, when you come to this page, for you to use your school email, your school username, and your school password, so it's easier for you to remember. Please, I cannot help you if you do not use the correct name. So I'm going to put in here school login. Please don't use your real name because I don't like for them to have too much information. Your password is your school password. And you're going to confirm that. Oh, usernames can't have spaces. Okay, so they're giving me that's their coding, their rules. Okay, let's see if I've done anything else wrong here. Okay. Username taken, school login. All right, so when you get to the next, it's going to ask you a little bit about a email. Make sure you use your school email, please. If they ask for a parent email, you can use mine, and that would be rengle@western.k12.in.us. If it asks about your gender, please put in there, do not want to reveal, simply because I don't like for them to have any more information than they have to have about you. So when we get to Scratch, and I'm going to go back a little bit here, you will eventually get signed in. And when you log in, it's possible that we'll have all different starting screens. But the main thing I want you to look at is the blue bar across the top where it says Scratch. You'll notice you have a menu there. Create, Explore, Ideas, About. Okay, so what I would like for you to do is touch the Create button, or Create menu, I should say. And when you come on. There we go. When you touch create, it's going to come up to a screen like this. So there's a lot of different parts we need to talk to you about on this. You have a palette area all the way over to the left. That's the different color dots. If you want to make something move, you're going to use motion. You want to change it looks, you want to go to the looks button. If you want to add a sound, you've got sound. Events and control are very, very important. Events are what start your instructions to work. Control is how you want them to work. Like, do you want them to go forever? Do you want them to repeat 10 times? We'll get into looking at those very soon. Sensing is one. I've never gotten that far, but one will sense if you shake your iPad, if you spin it, it has a sensing of what's happening to the item you're holding. If you take a look, you will get to variables. That's the orange one, the second from the bottom. And variables are a little bit tricky, but we can do it. Now, if you take a look all the way to the middle of the screen, you'll notice that you've got a little cat there that looks like the cat to the right. The cat is very light in color. Whatever character is showing up in that middle column, that is what you're writing the code for. Over here to the right, I have a cat, and I'm going to attempt to move it. Yes, there's my cat. This cat is called a sprite. A sprite is something you write a code for and you can manipulate. Now, what happens if I don't want to work with a cat today? If you take a look down here, straight below, you'll notice right here that there's a cat and he's got a garbage can right by him. If I don't want to work with a cat, I just hit that garbage can and I get rid of it. To find a sprite I want to work with, I come down here to the little button where the sprite was, and you'll notice there's a cat with a plus, a cat head with a plus. If you click that, we can find other sprites. This has a lot of sprites built in. You can upload your own as well. Now, if I come here and I do the search button, it says choose a sprite. Now you'll notice that you have lots of options to choose from. Across the top, you have categories: animal, people, fantasy, dance, music, sports. So if I come up here and I want to look at just strictly animals, and I want to have, let's say, my beetle do something. If I click on my beetle, you'll notice that's my sprite. If I want to have two sprites in there, I could have a beetle and I could have what chases a beetle here? Let's see here. We'll have it chased by a duck. Okay. So now we've got two ducks, two sprites. We've got a duck and we've got a beetle. Notice I can put my finger on them and move them around. Look over here in the center. Right now I'm coding for the duck. If I touch the beetle, notice it changes. So whatever character is here in the middle, that's the one I'm writing code for. Now, it's very important for you to look right down below the duck and the beetle. You'll notice that right now it says the sprite that's being coded is the beetle, and it tells me its X and Y location. Right now my beetle is at X 28, Y negative 105. If I move that beetle, you'll notice his location changes. X is now 94, Y is now 105. I can use my eyes down here and turn off my hide. I can hide it. The size right now for my beetle, because I can see that's what's being coded, is 100%. If I want my beetle to be smaller, I can go in there and say, let's make it 50%. Now, when I do that, you'll notice my beetle has gotten much smaller. Now, if I want a giant beetle that's going to eat the duck, I'm going to change that to 300%. Maybe the duck isn't as smart as he thinks he is, and he's going to get eaten by the beetle. Okay, my direction is 90 right now, and notice that because my beetle is in that center column, everything I do is to the beetle. So if I change my direction, I can come here and I can say, let's turn him this way. He is now at direction negative 175. So I can change the direction of my beetle, and that can be very important. Do you want him running toward the duck? Do you want him running away from the duck? What do you want to have happen here? So I'm going to change his size back so he's a little bit more manageable. I'm going to make him about a size 75% of what he was. Okay, so now that's a little bit normal. The beetle is smaller than the duck. Now, I am going to do some coding for my duck. And this is all practice, which is what you're going to do eventually. So I click on my duck down here. I want to have a background. Now, right next to the sprite, if you take a look, there's a little button and it says backdrops. If I click on that button, I can search where do I want my duck and my beetle to be. Well, I certainly don't want them in my bedroom. I could put them out there in the blue sky. That would be kind of nice. But if I go through here, I might be able to find like a, oh, wait a minute, is that a farm? Yep, I'm going to do the farm. So if I click on the farm, they now have a background. It's called a backdrop. Okay, so I'm going to put my duck on top of the, up here. And again, I notice my location is -171, Y92. And I have my beetle. Now I'm going to make my duck do something. So to do that, I always start with an event. How am I going to make something happen? And your assignment this week is to get logged in and to play with this a little bit. So I'm going to say when I click the green flag, and notice the green flag is right above the duck, I want him to do some type of motion. What do I want him to do? Oh, I am going to have him glide to a random position. So I attach that to my event. So now I have an event. My event is what causes the action, the clicking of the green flag. And my action or my motion is gliding. I think I want him to spin a couple times too, but I want him to spin nonstop. This is where control comes in. So I can have him wait a second to spin. I can have him repeat the spin 10 times. I can change that 10 in there, by the way. But I'm going to, just for fun, pull out the forever. So I'm going to go back to motion now, and I'm going to have him turn 15 degrees forever. He's never going to stop until I hit that red stop sign up above. If I hit that green flag right now, he should start gliding and he should start spinning. Let's see. There, he's gliding. Now he's spinning. Now, if I leave my iPad on overnight, he will still be spinning tomorrow because my instructions say forever. I'm going to go up and click the little red stop sign. I am going to pull this apart. I'm going to stop him again. And I'm going to put this glide 1 second forever to a random position in here with my flag. Now, before that was on the outside. What do you think the difference is going to be? I've now put it in the command forever. Glide 1 second to a random position. Let's see what happens. Will he glide continuously and spin? Let's see what happens. Okay, you'll notice he's spinning just a little bit because order is important. So forever, he's going to glide to a position and then he's going to turn 15 degrees. You'll notice he turns 15 degrees every time he turns to a random position. So order is important. Right now, your assignment for this week is to just simply get your account set up and play with this a little bit. You will start having assignments on next Tuesday.